So if you live in a story of yourself, life becomes incredibly hard. Because the way the story is going to go is it's going to go growth, prosper, then collapse and destruction. And this is going to keep happening. So it will prosper, it will grow like a flower and prosper, and then it will come back in itself and get destroyed and disappear. So you have this action. The Buddhists used to say it's like breathing, like the whole of life is in a pulse, like breathing. So it grows and then it changes into something else. And you can see it everywhere in nature. You know, the clouds turn into the water then turns into soil or to drink for animals or for us. Or then gets evaporated back up into being the clouds and then rains back down again. You can see it in plants. They grow up, they go, and then as soon as they flower and bloom and they're most beautiful, they begin to die and go back in on themselves. And it's the same with humans. I'm now 36 years old and I've heard, somebody told me, well, though they might have just said it because I am 36. They said once you pass 37 or 36, then your body begins to go into decomposition. Once you can't get a word, you have to just give up and change it. Your body begins to break down again. So it grows for those first 36, 37 years, and then it gets to its peak of health, and then it begins to go back in on itself. And this is the natural rhythm of life. So the Buddhists have this whole thing about the Om sound and the breathing, the going out and the coming in, the breathing out and breathing in. And then they say that the universe explodes and it goes out and out and out and out, and then it comes back in itself. So there's a lot of spirituality that talks about this movement, this pulsing movement. Now if you look at yourself in a timeline, so if you look at yourself in a story, this doesn't work well for you because you want your storyline to only be positive, and you want your storyline to be like a film or to be like books that you've been read where there's a beginning, middle and an end, and the end is this happy ending and you prosper and you win. And you can't win at life because that's not really how life works. Life is a constant flux, constant movement from one thing to another to another. And no object, no thing wins and beats life. There is always movement happening and change happening. So if you look at it and you put the nature of life into your storyline, that instantly gives you a bad story, because stories and the way we tell stories is about us winning and us overcoming evil. That's how we see storylines, is there is heaven and there's hell, and our storyline needs to become, or we want our storyline to be overcoming hell. So getting to this point where we've overcome something and we've got to goodness. And this is completely unrealistic. This story that we have, this divine story that we have from Christianity about getting to heaven and getting to this heavenly place to God and getting rid of everything bad and everything negative, is totally against the actual natural process and flow of life. So if you put your life into a storyline, it's never going to work. You're never going to be happy with that story, because you can't stay young forever, you can't stay beautiful forever, you can't stay healthy forever, you can't maintain your money forever, you can't keep your family, your friends forever. You can't keep things. And so if you put that into a Hollywood movie, how does that work? If you put it into a novel, how does that work? You know, our movies, they have the beginning, the middle, and the end. And the end is normally always overcoming something. How can we overcome our life? In the end, we die. We don't win. We don't lose either. Because in actuality, there is nobody that is born or dies. But in our belief, in our storytelling, in our intellectual reality, in our world of imagination, we are born and we do die. And we believe that the point to life is overcoming and beating life. Becoming the saviour, the hero, becoming this fixed image of perfection. And this is completely unrealistic. And it's driving humanity insane. The effect of this is making us kill ourselves. We've gone so crazy from trying to be perfect, from trying to control and hold on and make everything stop and getting to this moment of perfection, that we're killing our environment. We're letting psychopaths run our societies because we're too scared to step up. And all of us believe, or not all of us, but most of humanity believe, deep down, they might not consciously, but they believe that we should beat life and we should conquer life. Therefore it's okay to rape and pillage and destroy our environment and destroy our living environment, because we believe as humans that we should overcome. We should beat it. We should control it. This might not even be a conscious thing. We shouldn't have rainstorms, or we shouldn't have floods, or we shouldn't have disasters. People do believe this. If not consciously, they believe that humans should have an ultimate domination over life, even over death. But really, all that's ever wanted is life itself, is that sense of oneness, which is life, is beingness, is this moment, is what's happening. But the person, the imaginary person, just has all these beliefs and ideas about what life needs to be and what life has to be. And so it's always looking for that imagined life rather than what's happening. So it always makes what's happening feel like it's wrong or not enough. But your birthright, your sense of being alive, that amness, that aliveness, that which is looking out now, is totally free and innocent. And it's never suffered. And it's beaming with life and love. I was going to say love and it kind of went, la, la. It's beaming with life and love. And that's who everyone is. All things are. Ramesh Balsekar used to say it's the birthright of every human being, without his teeth in, while he was rocking on his chair. If you ever saw Ramesh, that was a very accurate impersonation. The birthright of every human being. No, I can't do his accent. And it's not getting out of pain, it's not getting out of frustration and anger and jealousy and all these different experiences. It's life full on. It's being human and not being human. And it does change the human. It stops it being so greedy and such an asshole, but it's still human with all its imperfections. And in those imperfections, it's perfect. You beat yourself up so much. You have this image of enlightenment that you're one day going to get to. And then eventually you begin to realize, fuck, It's being human. It's being imperfect. And people love to project onto the teacher the perfect person that never gets angry, that's always peaceful, that always does the right thing, that's all-knowing. And this is another illusion. This is the illusion, again, of this perfect heaven that you're going to get to. And so they have this onto the teacher. This perfect person, this perfect thing. Then they get to know the teacher, and the teacher sleeps with all the students, and then they're like, ah, this teacher's fake. Of course, I don't sleep with all my students. I'm just talking about the other teachers. I just only sleep with a quarter of them. See, this is the advertisement I do for my retreats. It's a joke, by the way. I try my best never to sleep with a student, but I have. Imagine Muji saying that, or Rupert Spira, or just all the other teachers. They'd never be so honest.